Hello everyone. In this session, let's learn how to construct a DFA which accepts binary strings that begins with 10. We know that the DFA can be represented by 5 tuples in which Q represents the states of the finite state automata and sigma the input symbols. Here it is binary strings, therefore 0 and 1, and let Q naught represents the initial state and F as the final state. The transitions are denoted by delta. The mathematical model DFA will make a transition based on one input symbol. So here on reading 1, first it can make a transition, and then after reading 0, another transition. So let's now construct the DFA like, let Q naught be the initial state. Now this DFA will make a transition when it reads a 1. Then again after reading 0, it can make another transition to Q2. So this DFA will accept the string that is beginning with 1 followed by a 0. This is the basic unit of this DFA. Now we can mark this Q2 as the final state. Now there may be other strings that begins with 10, like it can be as 100 or 101 or 1000, 1010. So any binary string that begins with 10 followed by any 0 or 1 in any combination any number of times. So in order to make this model accept such strings, we have to check at every state the possibility of getting a binary number 1 or 0. So here on reading 1, the machine has moved to Q1. Suppose if it reads a 0, then this model should not accept because it is beginning with 0 in that case. So on reading a 0, we can move to the, on reading a 0, we can make a transition to Q3. And again in 1, on reading a 0, the machine makes a transition to Q2. If it is reading a 1, then it should not accept here because then the binary string would become as 1 followed by 1. So in that case also the transition could be to Q3. So now here this Q3 is called as a sync state, which will not make a transition to final state in any manner. So this is how we have made the model to accept the strings that are beginning with 10. Now after reading 10, actually the numbers 0 or 1 in any combination can be accepted. So after reaching Q2, if the machine reads a 0 or 1, then it can be in the final state itself because it can accept all those strings. Thus a deterministic finite automata which accepts the binary strings beginning with 10 followed by any number of zeros or ones in any combination can be constructed in this manner. So the transition table could be on reading 1 from Q0, it can go to Q1. If it reads a 0, it can go to Q3, which we call it as a sync state. And from Q1, if it reaches a 0, it can go to Q2. And if it reaches a 1, it can go to Q3. And in Q2, when it reaches 0 or 1, it can be safely in the final state Q2. So in transition table, we mark the start state with arrow and final state with star. And in transition diagram, we mark the final state with the double circle and the start state with the arrow. This is how we can construct the DFA which accepts binary strings that begins with 10. Thank you.